because originally the Gollum was going to be like a puppet.
Yeah.
And Peter then decided, like, after they shot, I think after they did the Balrog, he was like, why don't we just make him fully CG? And so then they decided to go with that, and it wasn't quite working too well, so they decided, hey, we've got this new technology called motion capture.
Yeah.
Why don't we try that? And they did that, and so they brought Andy Serkis in because he was like the best motion capture, and they were originally going to have, I think, somebody like voice him, but Andy just started doing the voice because he was a fan of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
He just started doing things on set, and Peter's like, "That's it. We've done it."
Yeah. Yeah.
And all they did was just like animate Gollum as he is with Andy Serkis's movements.
Yeah.
So it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
On to Return of the King.
This is my personal favorite. And
first of all, we have to address, because Christopher Lee, God rest his soul, originally wasn't in the third installment.
yeah, which was really confusing.
They were just like, oh, he has no more power. We don't need him. We don't need to do anything with him.
And then all of a sudden, they just sort of had his crystal ball.
It was in the water. Yeah.
It was dumb.
Yeah. It was
just,
like, oh, okay. Fell out of the building.
How did that... No, that doesn't happen. That's not a thing.
So in this one, like, Gandalf and him have a conversation, and it's a great scene.
Oh my god, it's one of my favorite scenes in the whole series, because like it's really well written. Like the way they go back and forth, like it's like this guy who was head honcho seeing who was his under on the same level as him. And like
possibly greater.
Because
he overpowers him in Two Towers over Theoden.
Yeah.
And that scares him.
Yeah. And it's a really interesting scene, and like the way he tries to get like the other people to turn on him because he's too scared. He's too chicken shit to come down. Because he's up on top of this tower. He's away from everybody. But he's afraid that if he faces Gandalf head on, he will lose. And you don't really see that in that character before then. Because like that,
like we have the brief shot of Christopher Lee like shitting his pants after Theoden is free from his grip.
Yeah. But like
in this one, you feel it, you see it, and Wormtongue is up there, and he's caught like in the middle of their argument, and so he like panics and stabs Saruman in the back. Legolas like has a like panic attack and shoots him just like offhand, like
and then
like no aiming required, just shoots Legolas style and hits.
And then Saruman and the crystal ball fall down, and
down and
he gets impaled on the wheel, and then just kind of
like it's a gruesome
rolled
death.
Down into the water, never to be seen again. And it's oh god, it's a very satisfying conclusion to Saruman's story.
Yeah. Let's see. Also in this we've got let's see, what other extended stuff happened in this one?
Oh god, the biggest thing that stands out to me is the Mouth of Sauron.
Yeah. The Mouth of Sauron, and there's a little bit of Mordor thrown in.
Yeah.
Like they weren't just suddenly at Mount Doom.
Yeah.
Like they disguised themselves as orcs and were running around.
That was a fun scene too.
Yeah,
there was some tension in there.
Yeah. There was... I really don't remember what was extended in this movie. I think there was a bit more of the battle.
Yeah, there's just like little bits in this movie. It just kind of adds.
Oh, the ship. We saw Peter Jackson get his ass wiped.
Oh yeah.
He got his ass wiped.
Yeah. The thing about
with
this,
a Wilhelm scream. Thank you, Peter Jackson.
Yes.
You have done all of the movie in one scene.
The thing about this one is like it had been a minute since I saw it not extended.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I saw it extended, I was just like, this is the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. There is no other way.
There is no other way. And like it's,
there's the traveling through the tomb in the Passage of the Dead.
Yeah.
With Gimli freaking the hell out.
Yeah.
Him having an adorable scene.
Yeah.
Where they're walking through the mists.
Yeah.
And like the spirits of the dead are kind of like popping up around them. And Gimli like starts, because he's shorter, he's more in the mist. He's like blowing the spirits away. Freaking out.
Waving them away like farts.
And they get to the Path of Bones, and like it's crunching, and everyone's like, "Don't look down," and Gimli's just, "Whoa!" sees that they're bones, and he's trying to take steps without crunching any, but he keeps crunching, and every time
Repeatedly steps on
cringing, and then he starts
running.
It's a great scene.
It's so good. That's the thing about the extended stuff in Return of the King is like it's just like
It's more padding.
It's small stuff that just kind of adds a little bit.
Little hairy women.
Little bit to it, yeah. Little hairy women. Like, it just kind of adds more fun in there.
Yeah.
Like, it's in some cases it fills in gaps that were kind of glaring in the theatrical cut, and in other cases it just kind of adds a little bit more spice to it. It just feels more flavorful as a movie, and like it's
Like, it didn't need to be there, but I'm glad that it was.
yeah, because like that, it is like the longest movie I've ever seen. Like the extended edition of Return of the King.
Well, I mean, there's a few 1960 movies.
As I have mentioned before, is 4 hours long, and I love just about every minute of it because it's just so well done, because like it's the kind of movie, like whenever you get to the end of a trilogy, there are two ways you can feel. When you get to the end of a trilogy, there is the I'm worn down and I just kind of want this to be over feeling. But there's the feeling you get with this one where this is the best possible iteration of this world and of this kind of movie.
I don't want it to end.
You can see. And it's just so well done as a thing, because it has everything. It has like little pieces of everything that was so good about the previous movies. Like it has a lot of story building. It has big intense battles like we had in Two Towers.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about Helm's Deep. That's great, but
Yeah, but like,
but you should know that
the big intense battle in Return of the King is just so, it's very long. Like it's about as long as the battle in Battle of the Five Armies, but the thing is,
we'll get to that.
The thing is, you don't notice it because
there are other things.
There's so much shit going on while the battle's going on. Because that battle starts pretty early into the movie. That battle starts in disc 1.
Yeah.
And, like, goes on for a while in disc 1. And it's not really over until it's over. Like,
it ends,
and then,
like, as Sam and Frodo get into Mordor.
yeah, and then, like,
That's pretty far into the books.
yeah,
Because the books had, like, Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas' story, and then they had Sam and Frodo's story in separate volumes,
yeah,
which was weird. But, like, also, as you wanted to point out, it has the worst of the disc transitions.
yeah. Well, not the worst, just the silliest, because there's a moment that is just so stupid in Return of the King. Is like the orcs love their battering rams. They love them so much.
In Helm's Deep, they had a battering ram that made sense.
Yeah.
And this one,
In this one, they start out with their battering rams that make sense, and then they just wheel out this comically large, like, flaming dragon face, like, battering ram. And you're just like, what is this? Is this their secret weapon? What does that do?
what does that do? End of disc 1.
Oh, it's just a battering ram.
It's just
a bigger battering ram. And that's really stupid.
You know, the scary thing is that orcs have the same building mentality of America. Build it bigger!
Build it bigger! Make it hurt more people at a time!
Supersize me.
Supersize my battering ram.